One of my favorite places to eat is the Prescott Grill and Bar, and something very important goes into a lot of their food. We're going to find out about it. So with us is the owner, Robert Gabrick. Nice to have you on the show again, Robert.
Good to be here again.
Yes, and we have the head chef here, Stanley Berger, with us, and he's making up something interesting. Now, I did learn to do this in home ec, Robert, but but you're calling it something a little different, and you have a very special meaning behind this roux.
Well, roux is getting to be a lost art, and it's very important to a lot of different cooking. It adds a great deal of flavor to it, to a lot of dishes, and I thought that we would, considering we try to educate a little bit on the show, that we would do something about and show you a process. And if you look over here, we have, last night I did this. I made two roux, a medium brown and then a dark brown. The dark brown took me 20 minutes of what
doing exactly what
Stanley is doing now.
Oh my goodness.
And it just takes patience. And kitchens aren't known for their patience. It's always a frantic pace. And so this has to be done at like 6 in the morning before it gets too crazy.
Yeah, like fast food. It's not really fast food. Even fast food isn't fast food, but when you've got elegant dining, like you have wonderful dining, I mean, you guys are still like working like crazy back there.
Behind the scenes is
right.
crazy.
Now, we called this a white sauce when I was learning to make it. So it's flour, it's salt.
Well, actually, it's flour and an oil. So right now, this is a high-fat French butter. The fat content makes it a little nicer, a little smoother, but it can be done with duck fat, it can be done with bacon fat, it could be done with an oil.
I see.
Depending upon what you want to accomplish.
Okay, and so as you do this now, this is going to turn, you choose, like when you're making candy, you choose what stage you're going to stop it at.
Right.
So the one we looked at, the one roux, the lighter one, is, you know, at a certain earlier stage.
Yeah,
of course, it's still going to take 10 minutes of this.
Right, that has a light nuttiness to it. The really dark one is a really dark, rich coffee flavor to it. So we use that for like our gumbo.
Yes.
And that just totally changes it from a light color to a very dark, deep, roasty color.
And adds nutty flavor
tremendously
to it.
Right.
Okay, and then the lighter one, what would you use the lighter roux for? Would you say?
For light sauce. And so if you were making a gravy that you wanted a little bit of toastiness to it, even like a chicken gravy or a turkey gravy, you would make a roux that is a little bit dark unless you wanted a white gravy.
Okay, and this is also a thickener, besides the flavor and everything.
Right.
This adds some substance to all kinds of things then.
Absolutely.
Okay, like, well, of course, the white sauce, I guess, is with milk, so that's different than a roux, which is your oil and flour.
Well, the milk would be added if you wanted to create a milky, creamy flavor to the sauce that you were making. But if you were making just a straight chicken turkey gravy and you wanted a little bit of royal color to it, then you would use the medium roux and add a little bit of toastiness to it.
Okay, so you're standing at the stove for 20 minutes cooking this, just stirring and stirring. You were
doing exactly what he's doing.
You're kind of like a Zen experience in the middle of the rush, right?
It has to be.
I love it. And so this is something you make, you put it on hand, it goes in a lot of the things in your menus and makes them the special, delicious thing that we're talking about. Okay, so we're going to take a break and we're going to just let Stanley keep stirring and stirring his roux, and then we're going to come back and we're going to find out how you use this roux to do a gumbo, right?
Exactly.
All right. Prescott Station Grill and Bar. We're going to take a little break and then we'll be back and show you just how this is used. So we are back, and we've got the important people at Prescott Station Grill and Bar. Delicious food owner Robert Gabrick is with us, and Stanley Berger, who has busily doing this all the time during break, getting a gumbo ready. And as we showed you in the first segment, this roux that he is putting in is a very special element. It starts out looking like this with flour and oil, stirs for 10, 20 minutes, and ends up looking light or dark. And so, which kind are you putting in, Stanley?
I put in some of the dark, nutty roux into the gumbo because you want that you want that nuttiness to come through the whole sauce. And
Okay.
the smoky
and
chicken.
this is kind of a Nolans dish, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You know?
It's a very Narlands dish from Louisiana. I believe Robert's had this gumbo recipe for
We can kind of see
years.
this. Are you kind of a Nolans guy? Are you a Cajun guy or something, Robert?
I did a lot of traveling, and being old, I've been able to learn from a lot of different areas. And this was my gumbo filet period when I made a lot of these dishes.
And what goes into gumbo besides the roux?
Well, you have the filet, which is a spice, a group of spices, of which sassafras is a serious one, is a main ingredient to it. But then you have crawfish, you have chicken, you have andouille sausage, you have shrimp, and so it's a catch-all. But what really makes gumbo the gumbo is the filet and the roux.
That really rich flavor we were talking about from all that patient stirring
Right,
from the roux.
and most people aren't willing to put the patience into it, and that's what makes our willingness to do things like this special, and the dish is appreciated.
Well, I tell you, because your food is always unusual and always delicious, Robert. I've never had a bad dish there, and I love it. I love Prescott Station Grill and Bar. So we got our gumbo going, and you put it in a form, do you?
We put it in a ring mold just to make it look pretty, just to give it some pizzazz.
Cool. All right.
We eat with our eyes, and so we try to make sure that first impression says, oh, this is going to be good.
This is where it's at.
That's right. It has got to look good. That's just like a magic potion thing.
Exactly.
And of course, it's always nice because you guys follow it up with actually really delicious food. So while he's plating it up, tell me about these awards that Prescott Station Grill and Bar has garnered.
The newest ones that we've been honored to get, the Courier, the newspaper, for 3 months or so, had people vote for a series of different items from auto repair and on. But we won 3 awards. I appreciate all of them. One of them surprised me because we won Best Restaurant, Prescott Restaurant, Best Downtown Restaurant, and then we won Best Breakfast, which surprised me because we don't do breakfast, but it was obviously based on the strength of our Sunday brunch. And so that was one of the ultimate compliments.
Yeah, and this was like 40,000 people, did you say?
Right, yeah, exactly.
That
voted over the course of the period of time. And so.
All right, so Prescott Station Grill and Bar, how are you open? You have the patio done. What's it?
The patio, the Sunshade Pergola, is now open, and it's become the hot spot, which is very cool, and I'll have it misted to make it even cooler by next week. But we're open lunch and dinner, Sunday brunch. So we open at 11, and we serve food all the way through 9 o'clock every day of the week, and then we open up at 10 o'clock on Sunday for brunch.
I tell you, Prescott Station Grill and Bar right downtown, just a block east of the plaza, right there on the corner. A wonderful place to go. You always have the freshest meats as well there. And you're always serving those and making sure that they are the best.
Arizona grown, we're very proud of that.
Beautiful. And this delicious gumbo right here that Stanley just plated up with the roux that takes such a long time. Prescott Station Grill and Bar, Robert Gabrick, and also Stanley Berger. Thanks for joining us. Ooh,
Thanks for having us.
So good. All right. We are having more fun on Arizona Daily Mix. Stay with us.